Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of ISO Bloom, a place where growth gets real, healing isn't linear, and emotional intelligence takes center stage. My name is Mario Reyes, and I'll be your host today. They say if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So you know I got the squad with me. Mr. Chris Classic.
What up?
Mr. Jamel Shelton.
Peace.
Dr. Curtis Jasper.
Happy to be here. What's good?
And we got an esteemed guest, Hassan. What up, baby?
Peace.
What's
Peace.
good?
How you doing, my brother?
Oh,
Stevenson,
beautiful.
what's good, bro?
Oh, man.
Beautiful. Happy to be here. I thank y'all brothers for having me here.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man, that's light work right there.
If I can add some useful input.
Always.
Come on now.
But I can't promise it. I'll do my best. I'll do what I can.
I want to introduce Brother Hassan. Brother Hassan is the founder of Father. Father stands for, what's the acronym stand for?
Father stands for Fathers Aiming to Have Equal Rights and Support. So me and a good friend of mine, Patrick Samuel, I'm actually a co-founder, we put this together for men who don't get to see their children.
Yes, sir.
Who want to do a better co-parenting situation, because I think that's an epidemic in our family. Not just, once we got into the space, we realized it's not just a black issue. Yeah. It's just all across the board. There are good men out there who, for whatever reason, don't get to see their children, and they want to be in their lives, but for things that we get into that on our space, that's just not fair for the child. So we started a charity to raise money for lawyers and therapists for them, so that they could legally be able to see their children.
That's good, man.
Is there something personal related to you when it comes to this cause?
Everything that happens amongst men and people, I find it to be personally related to me, because that's just where my heart is. So Patrick is definitely personally related to him, because he actually does not get to see his children. So, and me and his children played together in my basement. He's such a great parent. It just broke my heart to see that he wasn't able to see his children. So it's personal to him, it's personal to me, it's personal to us. It's personal for the development of the planet, that both parents are in the lives of the children.
For sure. I know we talk often about legitimation out here in Atlanta.
Yes.
You want to speak on that, brother? But hold on. Just so everybody understands, the topic of our conversation is leadership. And I commend you for leading this charge to ensure that fathers have equal rights.
Yes. We did a little something where we had an attorney come on, and they really speak in depth to legitimization, and that I'll touch on it lightly, not from the legal standpoint, because I'm not the expert on it. But what I do know is the men have to prove, basically, that they're the father before they get to see the child, but it doesn't work the same way in reverse. So the law is just
that's taking mama's baby, daddy's maybe to a whole level.
It's just improperly put for the child to have both parents in the life. So not really a male or female thing. It's just, if we want to have, the statistics show, which was a eye-opening statistic for me, that showed that when men are the primary caregiver to the children, that they fare better than when women are the primary caregiver and primary parent in the family. So, and that's not to judge or bash what our women do, because they do a great job. It's just, if that's the case, then we know we're better and stronger together.
Yeah.
And I think what people forget is, Kahlil Gibran said something. He said, you choose your joys and sorrows long before you experience them. So we're choosing partners, and then the thing doesn't go right, and then we punish the child because we made a bad choice on the partner. So just because you don't like the person or like what they did, that doesn't mean that they don't have the right to have their father or mother in their lives, either side of it. So we stand tall on that. And I think that's a bit, in our community, is damaging. But what we found is in all communities, man, there's so many dads out here who have mental health issues because they can't protect and provide their child.
Absolutely.
And that's something that we feel strong about.
You touched on something heavy. Aside, like one, you.
I'm always touching on something heavy. Talk that.
You gotta relax.
Yeah. He said you gotta relax.
I borrowed that from Nori. I borrowed that from Nori.
That's the BX, right? That's
BX all day, baby.
That's
Where you from,
BX.
son?
You already know.
Where you talk that talk? Talk
You
that talk.
already know. I got to talk. They hear it in the accent. They hear it in the accent. Just trust the accent.
But that being said, when we think about the statistics, and I got it off. You know what I mean? When we think about those statistics and how children fare better when they're raised by their father, you touched on the importance of togetherness and raising them. So when you think of a leader and leadership in a traditional sense in the family, what would you say are the pillars that the family will stand on as the father as the leader?
The pillars that the family will stand on.
Or maybe that the man should stand on to lead his family.
I would have to take it back to what leadership means to me.
All right.
To answer that, and when I take it back to that, I would say the leadership to me, in my opinion, starts from the hearts of men, because we're talking about men, or the hearts of the person. Yeah. So your leadership starts from where your heart is, what you desire. When you're looking at young leaders out there who want to do something, they have to make a decision on what they want their impact on the world to be.
Right.
And when you start making decisions in life about what you want your impact to be, that decision comes from here.
Yeah.
So if you're making that decision at a time where you're broken, or a time where you're jealous, or envious, or angry, or have a vendetta toward the world, then the way you choose to lead is going to be chosen from how you feel inside your heart. And then once you take that, that's one side of it. Then the other side, when you talk about leadership, are the strategies of leadership, right? Like, I like the Tuckman's theory of leadership.
Okay.
In leadership development and team development, because...
Break that down for us.
I'll break it down. So, lightly, basically it's 4 stages. There's the first stage is forming, where you form a team. The second stage of that leadership development is the storming, right? And the storming process of leadership, a lot of times, is where things go awry, because you have to know where you are in that space to be able to be an effective leader. So when things start, when you get, you're trying to build a culture, or whether it's in the family, you're trying to build something for the family that you want people to follow, you have to accept in your mind as a leader that everybody's not going to accept it immediately. Mm-hmm. It's going to be some rough waters in there, and that's the storming of it. And then you have to touch on, which we haven't touched on, but we could touch on that later, the emotional intelligence in you is, as a leader, you have to try to raise your emotional intelligence a little higher than everybody else, because you got to let them, they can, it's okay for them to argue and do things. You can't get caught up in that, because you are the visionary, right? You're the leader.
You see the destination.
Right. Through the storming process.
Yeah.
And then after storming, you go into norming. So there's forming, storming, norming. And then in norming, things normalize, right? And then after things normalize, then you could take it to the last stage, which is performance. So in performance, now the team starts to, or the family starts to, now we're having family reunions and everybody's wearing the same shirts. And now it's all love, because what we have to do is we have to have empathy for each other, and the leader could teach that through his actions. I lost my mother, and when my mother died...
condolences.
Condolences accepted. I appreciate that. I lost my mother, but when I lost my mother, I knew it was my job as a leader for my family to go do the funeral. I did a funeral in Florida. I did a funeral in New York. And I told, people down, oh, we're going to miss her. I'm like, hey. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. We're not doing that. Mm-hmm. We celebrating this. We popping champagne, celebrating mom going to the next life. This is the cycle of life. We're going to appreciate what she did. But I say that to say, not to highlight myself, but to say, as a leader, that's what leadership in the family is, right? In my darkest moment and darkest time, it's like they say, you got to cry in the car. Yeah. But when you get in front of your family, then you have to stand tall as a man. And that helped everybody. Yeah. It calmed everybody, because they were like, oh, okay, this is your mom. If you got it, then I can't be
Yeah, I can't be more sad than
I can't.
Yeah.
You can be sad, but
Well, not- yeah.
yeah, I
Not a
can't
competition.
do that. Right. So talking about the Tuckman's theory, going back to that, there's first you form the team, you go through the storming stage, then you go through the normalizing, then you perform. So there's the heart of the man. There's the strategy that you deal with, and then the last part of the leadership is what type of leadership style.
Yeah, that's good.
Right? So the leadership, there's different type of leadership styles. There's coercive leadership style. We see in that in our current leadership in the country, right? It's a coercive leadership style. We want things done immediately. They got to be done now. They got to be done this way, right? There's democratic leadership style, and no relation to the political party, but the Democrats tend to do things the other way. Hey, we're going to join in with the people. There's laissez-faire leadership style. There's persuasive. So, but those
Break
styles,
down laissez-faire and persuasive just for the.
laissez-faire is you kind of let things go a little bit, but you still incorporate people. But to be a laissez-faire leader, you got to have so much swag and style, because you got to be able to do it like this, and they just move for you. So laissez-faire is a little bit different, but the leadership style, the importance of it is the leadership style, in my opinion, is also guided by the first thing, which is the hearts of men and women.
Yes, sir.
Because that's how you're going, you see the current administration and how we're doing things, it's coercive. You see even Democratic, they do things, hey, let's all get together. But when the hearts of the man is based on the people first, then you get a dynamic leader because you incorporate all of those styles. Because you incorporate all the styles, because sometimes you do have to be coercive, right? We from the Bronx, right? Sometimes it's like, hey, yo,
Right.
I didn't ask you.
Yeah, right.
You gotta get that done because you know that has to be done. Right. And then sometimes you do have to fall back and be a little bit like, hey, all right, you tried, it didn't work, but I'm not gonna come down on you and beat you up. You as a leader, you always attack the action, not the person. You don't tell a person you're stupid. They just say, hey, what you did, that's not gonna give us a good result, as opposed to attacking a person. So all of those things in leadership and the leadership style, in my opinion, when you look at the hearts of a man, then he's empathetic to use all the styles, because he's not just based on a result. He wants to, if your leadership in the heart of the man is like, I want my family to be better, then I'm going to put aside some of my feelings and some of those other things so that the long goal, 5-10 years down the line, then we could be here. And you have to be a visionary to do that. And sometimes we mistake a manager for a leader.
That part.
Like
I saw that in the military all the time.
Yeah, like you're a
He
good
told you that
manager.
The person with time and service and higher rank is the leader, but when you get on, like when the group knows who the real leader is.
Right.
Hassan, I love how you frame leadership. So often when we talk about leadership, we talk about it from the perspective of corporate or working, right? But so many times in your conversation thus far, you talked about it from a family standpoint, which I absolutely love. I don't think that gets talked about enough. My question to you is, where did you learn your leadership style? First, what is your leadership style, and where did it come from? How did you learn to become the leader that you are today?
Well, it's a Wu-Tang style, and if I and therein lies trouble, my friend.
We brought that on ourselves. When we invited you, we
I
invited
had to get him. He was outside.
Mel definitely got it into his, so tell me you bad. Like, I got you.
I try to use. That's a great question. The real answer is, I'm always learning. I try to incorporate all the styles. I'm still studying leadership styles that are going to help me be better. I try to, because sometimes you have to, it's a lot. It's emotional intelligence is the power in it, because sometimes it's like, I got to use coercive right now. But I've been because losing laissez-faire and democratic is not heavy on you, because you don't really have to push people too much. Right. Then sometimes when you got to switch to coercive, you got to be willing. You have to be willing to use whatever style is effective for the mission at that time, if the greater good is for the people. Now, a lot of men, their greater good is not for the people, because Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? The bottom level is right? Food, shelter.
Yeah.
So most men, we provide. So the first thing is I'm gonna protect my family, make sure they have food and shelter. Now the way I'm gonna protect them is I'm gonna make sure we got all the food and all the shelter. Nobody can eat. It's all type of mentalities of how to get there. But people get drunk with power.
Yeah.
So when you get drunk with power, it's something missing inside here. That's why I said from the beginning, the first thing of leadership is the heart of man. You gotta look in that mirror and be like, okay, how do I want to impact the world? But a lot of people, you see boys play out their insecurities on the world sometimes.
Now you dropping jewels right now.
That's why every man isn't a leader.
Yeah, but
every man doesn't have the heart to be a leader
or the emotional intelligence to become a leader.
Yeah.
I think that's getting overlooked a lot in these world. Like we keep it's almost like the definition of masculinity and how it's evolved. Like we think just because I could grab something and break it, and
right.
However, what can you build?
Yeah.
But I challenge it to. I don't feel like every man can't be a leader. Every man's a leader. Every person's a leader. But it's just the heart of them and where they want to lead. If a man feels like I'm protecting my family so that we can have dominance upon this regime, so that my family's protected when I'm gone, we own all the land. It's just all here.
That's morphed into like
they're still leaders. If you look at the current, and I don't like to get into politics, but you look at the current administration, those you can't say they're not leaders. Those are amazing leaders, right?
Look all the people he inspired.
Right. So that in itself, you have to understand it. Now you have to see what the leadership style is. You have to see the heart of the man. You have to make a decision what you want to follow for yourself. But the great leaders have that tenacity. They have that don't give a fuck. They have that, I'm gonna get to it. Like, if you don't have that, you're not gonna be a great leader. So it's like, that's part of it.
You dropping so many jewels. I want to peel back a layer real quick.
Yeah, peel
it. We see where you're at now. How did you get there? Did mentorship play in a role in your leadership, or what inspired the level of study you took to become the leader you are?
That's my father. I was blessed to have my mother and father in my life.
Let's give it up for Pop Dukes one time. Word up.
Yeah, Pop Duke, Umzaliwa Umutata is the name of my father. So he instilled it in me. I was raised with my mom and dad, so that's why it's so important. And so it's such a situation in my mind for children to have both their parents. My sister was technically my stepsister, which I never even ever called her that because I never saw it that way. But I also knew her dad, and he was like a stepdad to me. So my mother made sure that regardless of how those relationships severed, we still all were a family unit. So, my father was the one who instilled it in me before I knew what instilling was. I came through an era in New York City during the blackout. There was a blackout in New York City where everything got blacked out. And my father, I remember him taking me, and we sat in front of his friend's candy store, and they both had shotguns, and they watched everybody loot. And they just stood there, and he made me sit there as a kid. In my mind today, you think, wow, was that safe? But he was teaching me how to protect. He was teaching me this is how you protect what's yours. And he was teaching me through the eyes of him, through a child, I was able to see what the world is really like when it's unhinged.
How old were you in that era?
I can't remember how old I was in that era, because some days I can't remember how old I am today, Jamel. It's just, I don't know. I don't want to say.
You were young enough for him to take you by the hand.
I was young enough for him to take me by the hand and me to experience it. And I seen the world unhinged. So I don't believe in systems and things, because I think the first order of leadership is protection and having. I can't put my philosophies on another man.
Right.
If his philosophy is world dominance and my philosophy is world peace, we both have equal philosophies, because you got to dominate to have peace. You can't have peace without dominance.
Right.
Yeah.
So people want peace, but you have no power. You have no power, you have no peace.
Right.
Because when I have the power, then I get to decide what's how it goes.
And it goes right back to the fundamental
Of where the heart.
Where the heart is. If the heart is
Talk
there
about
to
it.
be
Come
a
on.
peaceful heart,
Come on.
then you'll create a world of that. But if you
Yeah.
creating a world, if the heart is all about dominance and taking by force, chances are you're gonna have a more violent
But-
society.
But you never know the education that men receive on their journey, right? I never underestimate the education that men receive on their journey. A man who starts his journey and says, "Hey, I want dominance, power," he may be that way, and then once he has all that power, he could end up being a tyrant. And it could be one day when he's on his way to do a dirty deed, and then his dog gets hit by a car, and somebody stops and helps him and shows him a level of compassion that changes his heart, and he takes all that power he has and switches it, and now it's totally different. We've seen
Does Trump
people-
own a dog?
Nothing wrong with your dog. Ain't
No, I'm talking about, does Trump own a dog?
Does he own the dog? Nah. I mean, but it's not like you never know what could change a man's mind. But you don't grow up and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna be about world peace," and then get world peace. Sometimes you have to have the power, and then you have to have your mind changed to make it peaceful. So I never interrupt God's works. You know, some people want to interrupt God's doing in your life. That's not my job to interrupt God's doing in your life. My job is to protect, provide for those that's close to me, and stay on my mission. Your mission and my mission don't close. You know, my father taught me, he said, put your hand out here. Anybody outside of your fist is not, you don't have to worry about. Protect what's inside here. So sometimes, you know, you'll have people on social media.
I like your dad, bro.
Yeah, he's a
Dad
he's
over
a
there
OG.
dropping jewels.
You'll have somebody in Africa arguing with somebody in California on social media, and now they vehemently hate each other. That's not real.
That's not real.
I don't have that kind of time. Why would I spend my time with that? It's not real. Like, people really beef, and they may never even see each other.
Right.
Yeah.
They have to get locations to find each other just to finish the beef.
Right.
That's not real. Right? Guy
Not
walk
at
up
all.
to you, "Hey, you a nigger." Okay, that's not real. That's not real.
Unless you make it real.
No, true. There's something that, and I'll give you this jewel that I learned that changed my life in the way that I view my emotional intelligence.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got a life-changing jewel coming. Make sure you got your
I
book.
was gonna save it to the end, but I'm gonna give it to you.
Nah, you got
cheap.
a little cup.
Sip that drink.
Give it
Sip
to
that
you
drink.
for cheap.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's water.
This is water. With a little. This is boat water.
It's both.
Maybe I'll give it to you later.
Nah, don't do that shit. Who does that? Why would you do that? You got so many jewels. I won't need the jewel.
Let's talk about leadership challenges, if you man, while we save that to the end.
I
Okay.
can say that in case I win in case I win this little award, they got y'all don't know about this. They got an award at the end in case I win that. I want to hit it with
We
the.
gonna have we gonna have all guests in the green room now. Upstairs, right?
Leadership challenges.
Yeah.
The leadership challenges come from within.
Okay.
Any leadership challenge you deal with comes from within. How you handle challenges or how you deal with yourself. And you got to look in the mirror. Like everything, if you don't expect these challenges, that's why you have to go back to Tuckman's strategy, right? You form the team, and then you have the storming. So when I have challenges in leadership, I say, "Oh, I'm back to storming." So the challenges are supposed to be there. So you have to look and logically at that moment determine how to make a decision that's going to be best for the team. And then you have a conversation. I had a death in the family. Who was a close friend of mine, like I consider like my stepmother. Her mother died, and a guy, Kevin, who's like a brother to me, he called me yesterday, and he's like, "Look, I try to go stay at Mom's house, and she kind of didn't." She didn't invite us to stay there. I don't know what this is not weird. This is weird. She's acting like, this is my mother. She's acting funny. I said, "You acting funny." I'm like, your mother just had to put her mother down, and she was taking care of her mother for the last 7 years. Now you, my friend, has been living a wonderful life with your family, and you've been kind of not active. So you haven't been there helping her. So you have to put her first. Whatever she needs, you give her, pour back into her, so that she can be recovered from what she's given and drained her cup. So and I talked to them on the way here, and I talked to her, and I'm like, you good? She's like, yo, I feel so much better, because sometimes we don't take the time to do that. Now you want to start an argument like, oh, yo, you ain't let me in the house. What's going on with you? You don't take the time to have patience and empathy for what that person's going through and say, you know what? It's not about me. And that's what great leaders do. They take themselves out and say, because it's never about you as the leader. Even when they say it's you, no, it's you. If you're a good leader and you have the best interest of the team, it's not about you, because you're able to include them and say, look, let me tell you why it's not about me. And you have to share your vision with people. You know, you have to share your vision with your family. Share your vision with your business team. Don't keep it secret. Share your vision. You know, when people run for office, they say, here's my vision. It's the same thing. What is your vision for the family? My vision for the family is we're all together, we have family reunions, we pool in money so that we can invest together. What is the vision? And then this is why we need you to do this. Yeah, but I made more than him. Okay, God gave you more talent. All right, round of applause. Okay. Your self-esteem feel better? Like, you have to be able to manage your family in that way, in leadership in that. But the challenges, to answer your question, they come from within. And if you have the emotional intelligence and you have the understanding that this is supposed to happen, then you don't want to fall peril to the challenges of your team, because now y'all all in there fighting and there's no leader. You in there fighting with them, there's no leader. You have to stay up here and say, look, we're going to allow fighting for 20 more minutes, and then we're going to get back to business.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
You've been able to elaborate very articulately and amazingly on leadership.
Y'all heard that? He said I'm articulate.
Yeah, you got that off. You got that off.
Thank you. Sometimes I like hearing these affirmations. Then we can feel I'm human too. Right. Jesus Christ. You said this is about, you know, I'm trying to win that award, right? Hey, yo. Hell yeah, I love it, but I'm stunting dog.
Leadership.
I'm really stunting.
So I'm thinking about, like, for the young boys, for young boys, let's say 16 to 26.
Dangerous age.
Very
dangerous.
And they
testosterone on 12. If I can have some of that testosterone now, I'll take over the world.
Take over with a kind heart.
I don't know, because that testosterone, I can't.
Yeah, take it up.
Yeah, Trump, let's get these. Okay.
So what advice would you have for them?
You're a funny dude. I'm seeing a whole nother side of you.
Okay, this ain't no Dougal. This ain't no Dougal. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
but
crazy.
What
I have no sense, by the way.
What mentorship, like, geez Louise, what advice would you have for those young brothers that seek to be good leaders within their field, within their disciplines, or for their generation, but they feel like the examples that they have aren't necessarily the ones that they want to duplicate? That was a good fucking question, wasn't it?
It was long as a motherfucker. That's really what
Listen. I know you're not talking.
Can we repeat the question?
Yes.
There's no way I memorized that question. I had to figure it out.
Well,
you know.
let's let him answer.
I think that's a dangerous age, man. That's a dangerous age for men. Your testosterone's at a high level. The world's telling you who you should be, whether you're white, black, Indian, Mexican. The world's telling you who you should be. You might have been lucky to have the guidance of a man to tell you how to really be. Your desires are telling you what you want. Now social media is telling you other things that are false. So it's a very tough answer, because the answer is not on TV. The answer is not on social media. The answer is within. So you really have to understand, you really have to separate, and you have to have a level of compartmentalism. You have to be able to compartmentalize, and you have to be able to see the future. You gotta see the future. And nobody can see the future when you're that young. But the future is this. Most men don't reach their riches until they're in their late 40s or 50s.
Easily, for sure.
That's the truth.
Yep.
So you 18, you got a long ride. Make a decision of who you really are and be okay with that. There was a time where I had, I can't say it dark times because it wasn't dark, but I like to say dark because I hear people say dark and it makes me feel like I went through it. But it really wasn't dark. But there was a time when I was homeless. I didn't have a place to live, right? So I was the same person. And at that time, one of my good friends hit me and he said, whatever you're doing is what kings do.
Whatever you're doing is what kings do?
Whatever you're doing right now is what kings do. Whatever you're doing right now is what men do. So what you can't see is when you're 18 and when you're 26 or when you're even 44 and you're at a low point in your life, you feel like, oh, it's over. But really, whatever you're doing is what kings do. Kings lose their kingdoms. Kings lose everything. Kings come back from that. Men live as servants. Whatever you're doing is what men do. Where we have the society like, oh, if you're not this unless you. Every time I drive through a beautiful neighborhood and see a beautiful house, the first thing I say is, I hope they're happy. Because you don't know how unimportant money is until you have it. You think it's going to cure all your ills. It's not. You're going to be the same person. So it's okay. Everybody chill out. It's okay. You don't gotta do all that. When I grew up, we didn't have any money, but we still wear our little clothes, look fresh, did what we had to do. But what my parents and mother and father gave me was a self-esteem, and that's the difference. And people think they got self-esteem because it's cool to say, and you know it's not cool if you don't have it. But you're gonna see if you really got it.
Yeah.
So self-esteem is just being who you are and being okay with who you are. Just be okay with who you are. If you never make $1 million, it's okay. If you work at the post office your whole life, it's very okay. It's actually not how much you make, it's how much you save and how you know to work with money. So money's like a tool. You don't have to make a lot of money to have more than the other guy. The football player go broke and the guy that worked at the post office retire and love it. Don't get caught up with that.
Yeah.
It's who you are. Just be okay with being okay. But it's consumerism. We're addicted to consumerism because we've been hit by so much, the algorithms, this, that. So you so addicted to consumerism, all of us, we're like, oh, I gotta have that. I gotta have Mario got the white shirt on. I saw you wear the white shirt too. You seen I had the fit. I see what you did. We'll talk about that later. You gotta have it, right? It's the consumerism of it that drives men and women and wow. So the consumerism, it's so many. So to answer the question, for 18 to 24, you just gotta be okay with being you. It's okay. Somebody gotta tell you, it's okay. You're good. This dude's pussy. Don't worry about him.
Right.
This dude's fake.
Yeah.
I know, he's got all the money, all the cars, he got all of this. He gonna go to a whole nother planet. He don't even like himself.
Right.
Man, that's some real shit.
He don't even like it. If he did, he wouldn't. That's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, just be okay with being you. Confidence. But confidence comes from both parents. Because even if your father's even as a crack fiend, mama, you always was a black queen, mama. Even as a crackhead, your parents still your parents, so you have understanding of who you are. And that's okay. Sometimes, well, I don't want him to be around you because that's not good for the kid. So first, though, men and women who in the family, and especially our women, because they're particularly the caregivers while we have the charity, gotta release the children to the men, whether you like them or not, sweetie. I mean, is it our fault? You like them at some point. If you lay down and sleep with them, take that in the mirror. That's on you. You don't gotta like them. Oh, you don't like them now. Same thing with guys. You know, but we want to possess each other because of our own insecurities and but that's not good for the children. So when you're 18 to 24, even if you have the improper parental guidance, you should know that you just gotta believe in yourself.
I remember Colin Powell had a quote where he said that
I love Colin
in order
Powell.
to be
God
a good
bless the
leader,
kid.
yeah, for sure. In order to be a good leader, you got to learn how to follow first.
You have to be a great follower to be a great leader. You absolutely have to be a great follower. But great following comes with what? Humility. That's something people lack. Because to be humble, you have to be self-assured. Y'all got green lights, yellow light. I seen the yellow light hit me. They headed toward it. I seen it. Hold up.
Tell the people what's going on.
I'm on your producer right now. I put your producer on front stage right now if I see a red light on my talk. If I see a red light on my talk, I'm
just gonna cut the
turning
mic.
the camera to the producer.
They just cutting the mic off. The mic just gonna shut
They're
off.
gonna cut me off?
Don't be talking.
I was cooking.
No, keep cooking, nigga.
They did me dirty. No, man. Nah.
So humility, huh?
Humility. You gotta be humble, man. You gotta be humble. Be humble. Like Kendrick said, bitch, be humble. Behave. Like, you gotta be humble. We should all be humble because we all humans, but there's not a lot of humility in this world. Let's be honest. Who's humble? Who wants to be humble anymore? Nobody wants to be humble because to be humble, you really gotta be strong. Only live people humble. You ain't humble, you ain't live to me. You scared. I know a lot of scared people. When you lack humility, you scared. That's
I
all
never
you say.
brag how real I keep it, because that's the best.
If they
secret.
lack it, they scared. I mean, let's be honest. And I'm not saying it to down anybody, but those are the things that you have to do. You got to seek help. You got to seek counsel. I seek counsel. Still seek counsel. Talk to a therapist, and this whole thing is a little bit rigged for me because my therapist right there.
Oh, it's rigged that you done took over the whole show. Huh? That's rigged.
Dr. Kerr, like, oh, I'm gonna roast his ass next session.
No, but humility, man. Humility, guys. Humility, I think, is a key for humanity is humility. H and H. Humility and humanity. If we could put those things together, if I could say anything and not say anything else about leadership, about people, if you could co-mingle humanity and humility, but to be humble, you have to be a strong person.
I love that.
I'm going to shut up.
That's good.
A lot of balls.
No, I'm about to say you cooking. You cooking.
I'm cooking rice and chicken, baby.
You want to? Is it time?
It's time, bro.
Get him out
I
of
want to
here.
hear the joint.
Get me out of here.
Brother,
the feelings. I got the chip. I got the chip. Told you I was going to get him.
You made sure you got it.
I feel bad.
Look, you was Iverson.
Hey, the practice.
Practice.
I tell you was taking it.
So now tell us.
explain.
Oh,
explain what it
hey,
is.
yo,
He didn't even explain it.
Yo, I got lost. You
Hey,
been
yo,
jumping
I got it
so
right
crazy.
now.
I got so crazy. All right, so boom.
Yo, nah,
So boom. The next segment is called Brother with Feelings. We've already voted. To understand the Brother with Feelings,
don't
you
even
get
wanna
2
talk no
minutes.
more. I'm gonna
You
make
get
it
2 minutes or 20. Better since you're talking. You know what I mean?
Nah,
To get off whatever it is you wanted to discuss about leadership.
keep it at 2 or the light's gonna come on.
Yeah, you think I'll start blinking?
1.5.
Oh, 1.5. Oh, let me hear this.
1.5.
He need a sticker, bro.
Oh yeah, you definitely got to get this sticker. Hold on.
All right, be careful what side you put it on. You see the.
Oh God. My brother, here you go.
Thank you.
So you are now a part of our illustrious fraternity,
feelings.
a brother with feelings.
All right. I'm gonna do this in 1.30. Thank you for
All right.
the time that y'all gave me.
Absolutely.
I didn't mean to talk too long.
Nah, you good,
Yo,
bro.
this
He
has
just
been
messing with
wildly
you, bro.
entertaining.
I know.
And informative.
Yeah, absolutely.
But let me get through this. Brothers with feelings. The one feeling I want to talk about is a feeling of anger. So I learned something that changed my life, and I want to share that with everybody. If you don't listen to nothing else, listen to that part. There's a parable that I heard, and I'm paraphrasing it. It said, I used to use anger as a weapon, but had I been stronger, I would have never needed such a vice. And that changed the way I think and my emotional intelligence. So I would say that to people out there, a lot of times, especially in our community, and I'm speaking to our community predominantly on this, because we're the ones who are unliving each other. I heard somebody say unliven. You can't say kill them, I guess.
They
It's
replace
less.
suicide with unaliving.
Unaliving. All right, so people getting smoked out here. You know what I'm saying? We doing ourselves dirty, and we imprisoning ourselves. We making bad decisions. We hitting our women. We doing a lot of things, and a lot of it comes from anger. And anger is a vice for survival where we from. But where it says, I used to use it as a weapon, but had I been stronger, and as I grow stronger as a man, and some of that didn't come until I reached into my 40s and 50s, and as I grew stronger, I realized that was a vice. That was a badge of honor that didn't really represent strength. And when I put the anger down, I was much sharper, much more effective. And although I was a brother with feelings, I had control of them. Because if you want to be a brother with feelings and you don't have control of them, you're going to end up the people that could attest to this are the men, and I'm not just saying black men, all men all women are in prison who made an emotional decision to be there through anger would probably like to have that back and make a more concerted effort. It would save more lives on both sides. So as a brother with feelings, I would say, I knew I was going to win this award, y'all. I'm just stunting on him right now. I'm really stunting on him right now. I'm really stunting on him right now. As a brother with feelings, I would say, anger. Get a control over it. Don't use it as a weapon unless you puta. Puta. You know, where we from in puta. Get my man Pants, he tell you what puta is. I know.
Yeah.
Unless you that, don't use it as a weapon. Use strength.
You word.
Jam, give it up for the brother with feelings.
Good, man.
Molo.
It's good, man.
You earned that. Word is born. Now we on to our next and final segment. So we got one question to ask the doctor. What we gonna ask him?
You trying to kick knowledge?
What?
Nah, I'm trying to kick that shit you need to learn. I ain't.
All right, let's hit him with some ether. No, I love leadership, right? It's since this whole mental health thing been trending, we've stepped away from the essence of leadership talk, right? And we had that pre-COVID, right? For several reasons. And then you actually touched on it, Hassan. The leadership, for me, is the ability to not only lead others, but to lead oneself. The great leaders are actually followers of self. And the only way that you would lead and follow oneself is to hire exorbitant amount of self-trust. And so I'm fortunate enough to work with highly functional men who are leadership on a whole different level. And the three areas that I'm blessed to work with them is, in addition to emotional intelligence, right? We throw that around often, but there's two other parts that I think are critically necessary. One is social intelligence, and the other one is relational intelligence, right? And they must be all three comprised, right?
Can you break down a little bit about the other two?
Yeah, now we're pretty familiar with the emotional intelligence, but there's a social intelligence, right? There's a way that oneself as a leader has to have a specific skill set to socialize, right? To be amongst people in a very civilized manner, right? Just to get stuff done, in addition to leadership, in addition to emotional. Let me give you another example. There are people who are high level emotionally, but they lack a social intelligence for various reasons, right? Then there's relational intelligence, and we know that all too well. There are leaders who are killing it in the world and disasters at the house because they haven't practiced the necessary skills to keep the relational piece starting from the house. So from my experience working with highly functional men, there's a three-pronged approach. There's the emotional intelligence, but then there's the social intelligence, and that includes the relational intelligence. Now, the number one challenge I find when men who even possess a high level of emotional intelligence is at some point they become emotionally unfit. There's a fitness that comes with having a high level of emotions, right? Like going the spectrum of your emotion. We heard the other guest how he said he literally allowed himself to crash in his wife's arm, right? Like that running on high, because right, we can get the allure is addictive, right? We can run high, we could get the bag, we could be winning on every level and forget to emotionally rest, whatever that is from. So by the time a highly functional leader called me, they're emotionally unfit. They don't know it yet, right? They hadn't had that piece, right? And they'll be like, oh, I think I'm this, and they'll come to me and throw out all the clinical terms. And they're like, nah, bro, you just exhausted. They're like, wait, what? You just exhausted. You just running at a high level in fifth gear till you almost close to burnout. Like emotional stroke level, for lack of a better term, right? And there's some ways to work around that. And so you run at a high level, even with a high level of emotional intelligence, until you burn out. And you see it in different ways. You ignore it. The aches, the pain, the lower backs, the breakouts, the stiffness, right? Things of that nature. But you can fix that. The number one challenge with highly functional men is that they recover well. They recover well. Well, they're like, I fix this.
Preach.
I fix this. Don't recover anything, right? Like they'll just fix it for whatever it is. They've mastered the ability to recover well. And the other men who get stuck have challenges recovering.
Preach.
And I'll end with that.
That's a good doctor
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah, let's give it up one time for Dr. Kirk. Heidi, Hassan, my brother.
Yes,
Guys,
sir. It's a pleasure.
Definitely
It's a pleasure.
be
Love
here all
you.
day.
Appreciate y'all having me. I
Yeah.
appreciate y'all having me here.
Pleasure, bro. We got it.
Hope I said something that impacts somebody on.
Oh no, brother. I could definitely see a lot of, especially the young brothers that need to stop moving so fast and expecting everything to be. God bless you. Everything to be microwaved.
Yeah.
I could see them being able to realize that they got to let it stew a little bit longer.
Late 40s to 50s.
Word.
But you said something, though, that was key, right? They got to hear from older gentlemen that they're okay.
Okay.
Because the very 16 to 24, like, they ain't really that useful.
Yeah.
Right? They still trying to get the bag, the girls, the careers, right? So internally, they like, what?
Right.
Everywhere they go, they're gonna be a journeyman.
Correct. So they got to see, like, you're good where you at. I've been there. I promise you.
Yeah.
But it takes men who, when we shoot back to them, that we live in a dream.
Right.
Right. The guys who speak the most to young cats ain't even where they want to be.
Right.
They lecturing.
Yeah.
Right. They don't listen to it.
That's funny because you talk about that a lot of times when you talk about brothers come to hear themselves and share.
Right.
When it's really time for you to listen.
It is.
Start doing the work. Yeah.
Facts. And where do they want to be, though? I would ask you that. That's a question. Like, when you said where do they want to be, what is that thing?
So there's levels of beingness, right?
Right.
You want, because like you said, money only good for money challenges.
Right.
Most people don't know that, right? Money only good for the money challenge. And those who have secured the bag, the real challenge is, right, the resilience. Like, when you lose it, can you get it back at a different level, right? So there's levels to beingness, right?
Yes.
And so when I ask one, like, where you want to be, it's particular areas. Like, there's family, there's financials, there's
Right.
physical, there's mental health, there's spiritual. I always ask, like, what we got? The whole gamut,
That's true.
right? The whole gamut. Most people with no money, my mother grew up with no money. Perfect being, didn't have the money. Happy. Father had bread, needed some other areas, right? But to your point, I had the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
And on that note right there, just want to say, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to another episode of I So Bloom, where we talked about leadership. And I think what we can take away before you can lead anybody outside, you need to lead yourself.
Yep, that's
And-
good.
and
Appreciate you, man. Thank you for being here.
Hey, you guys.